If you're planning an upcoming trip to Universal Orlando, then these 10 must-know tips will help enhance your days at this awesome theme park resort. Planning a trip to the Universal theme parks can be very stressful and time-consuming. This is why I created this video to help ensure that you and your family or friends have a great day at the parks. My name is Brandon and welcome to Theme Park Recommendations, and the first tip on this video is essential to know. Number 10. Always arrive prepared. Before you step into the parks, just know that you will need at least one day in each park to experience everything they offer. This is why I recommend bringing a medium-sized backpack with you, filling it with snacks and a few bottles of water. You are allowed to bring this stuff into the park, but as long as it's in your bag, pockets, or the bottom of your stroller. Now it's time for the first of many bonus TPR tips throughout this video. You're going to find that bottled water is very expensive in the parks. So one way my family and I save some money, and it works every single time, is each of us brings a bottle of water into the park, and then we just refill it throughout the day at the water fountains that are located throughout the park. Number 9. The single rider lines. The following Universal Studios attractions offer single rider lines. You have Fast and Furious Supercharge, Transformers The Ride, Revenge of the Mummy, Men in Black Alien Attack, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts, and Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket. Then over at Islands of Adventure, you have Velocicoaster, The Incredible Hulk, Skull Island, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey, Dr. Doom's Fearfall, The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man, Jurassic Park River Adventure, Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls, and Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventures. The benefit of using the single rider line is that you get to experience the attraction in a line that is usually much shorter than the regular queue. But note that while you will save some time by doing this, you will not be able to experience the attraction sitting next to the rest of your party. Unfortunately, another thing to consider when using the single rider queue line is that you will miss out on some of the better themed queues that Universal offers. TPR tip. While the single rider line at most attractions at the parks is beneficial, it's around 50-50 over at Velocicoaster. Sometimes the single rider queue is worth it, and sometimes it really isn't. It's all based on the standby wait time. But the good news is, you can always ask the ride attendant at the ride's entrance, and they will tell you just how long the single rider line is. Number 8. The slowest moving lines. While you will find some of the highest capacity thrill rides ever created at Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida, only some attractions offer a good flowing line. Velocicoaster, Hagrid's, The Incredible Hulk, Gringotts, and The Mummy offer some of the quickest moving lines at Universal Orlando. But sadly, that cannot be said for the following attractions, starting off with Islands of Adventure. The High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride offers a slow moving line. The same goes with the Flight of Hippogriff, the Pteranodon Flyers, Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls, and Dr. Doom's Fearfall. Over at USF, Despicable Me Minion Mayhem, Men in Black Alien Attack, and The Simpsons Ride all offer slower moving lines. I cannot recommend enough checking out the wait times throughout the day so you can see which attraction near you has the shortest or the longest line. And did you know that you can do that right from your phone? Which brings us to number 7. Download the Universal Orlando app. Seriously, this app is an absolute must for your trip to Universal. Not only is it easy to use, but it also allows you to see the show times for all the shows in the park and check out every restaurant that you're going to find at Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, and City Walk. And for the sit-down restaurants, you can even make reservations. The app also offers height requirements and again, wait times for the attractions and so much more. Number 6. where to eat, and avoiding the busy lunch rush. You will not go hungry at Universal Orlando. I can also promise that your wallet will be lighter and your stomach will be heavier. There are so many great restaurants to choose from at Universal Orlando, and here are my top recommendations. Over at Islands of Adventure, the best sit-down restaurant is by far Mythos, which has been consistently voted as the best theme park restaurant for years now. And as for my favorite quick service restaurants, it's hard to go wrong with Three Broomsticks and Thunder Falls Terrace. Skipping over to Universal, you have to go with the sit-down restaurant Finnegan's Bar and Grill and Lombard's Seafood Grill. Both of these places are great. As for the quick service, the all-new Minions Cafe really is a ton of fun. Universal Orlando City Walk does offer a ton of great dining options. I recommend trying Big Fire and the Twosome Chocolate Emporium. Now that you are hungry, you must know how to avoid the busy lunch rush. This way, you will not have to wait in long lines for the rides and to get your food. I always recommend eating lunch before 11:30 a.m. or after 1:30 p.m. Trust me on this 2-hour window is very important. TPR tip: if you are planning on enjoying a sit-down restaurant at Universal Orlando, I always recommend making reservations through the app as early as you can. Number 5. Staying at Universal Orlando Resort. Convenience is always nice, and saving money on top of that is a great thing. This is why I recommend staying at a Universal Orlando hotel, and bundling your tickets with your hotel is always a great option to consider. Universal Orlando offers many different hotels with different price points, and 3 more will be opening next year for Epic Universe. TPR tip: I always recommend checking out the prices for the premier hotels since they offer the Express Pass Unlimited for free for every registered person in your room. This will save you money each day, and you'll get to skip the regular standby queue lines for all the attractions. But note, at the time of this video, unfortunately Hagrid's still does not have an Express Pass line. And for more information about the Universal Orlando hotels, once you finish this video, be sure to check out my Universal Orlando hotel guide for detailed breakdowns of each hotel and even more ways for you to save some money. And for your convenience, I will include the link to that video in the description of this one. Another great benefit about staying on property is Number 4, early park admission. Lucky for you, you'll have access to select rides and attractions at Volcano Bay, which is Universal Orlando's water park, and Islands of Adventure. But unfortunately, at the time of this video, Universal Studios Florida does not offer any attractions open for early entry, but that could always change. Early entry is a great way to get on Velocicoaster and Hagrid's without having a massive line to wait in. TPR tip: for shorter lines, I recommend being at the front gate of Islands of Adventure by 7:30 a.m., which is 30 minutes before early entry even starts. Then once you're inside the park, walk fast, I repeat, walk fast to Hagrid's. Number 3, this one is extremely important: when to visit Universal Orlando. This decision will either make or break your Universal Orlando vacation. It is always a good idea, if you can, to plan around the lower crowd periods. And here are the periods that I recommend visiting: the last 2 weeks of January, the first 2 weeks of February, during the middle of May, in September and after Labor Day, the 3 weeks of November before Thanksgiving, and the first 2 weeks of December. These are the slower periods, and while you're still going to experience some lines, it's nothing compared to what it would be like if you're visiting during a busier time of the year. TPR tip: I always recommend visiting a theme park on a weekday if possible. Saturday and Sundays are always usually the busier days. Number 2, plan ahead. This is so important, and so many people make this mistake every single day. Be organized and know exactly what you're doing for your trip for the parks. And with that, I always recommend purchasing your tickets in advance. This will not only save you time at the front gate, because trust me, the lines to purchase theme park tickets are always slow moving and usually long. Once you purchase your tickets from the Universal app or the website, you can walk right up to the ticket scanner at the front entrance of each park and walk right in. Now, another great thing about this is that you will also save money on a 2-day or more tickets. Trust me, the online ticket prices are always more expensive for 2 or more days. Now, before I get to the most important tip of them all, here are some great other videos that I created that will enhance your Universal Orlando vacation. Also, if you found this video to be helpful in any way, then please take a second and give it a like. That is by far the best way you can help support the hours it took to create this video, and I greatly appreciate each like. Now, the number one tip for having the best possible Universal Orlando vacation is arrive early. This is vital. Like I said a few moments ago, if you're staying on property, then I recommend getting to the front gate of Islands of Adventure by 7:30 in the morning, 30 minutes before early entry starts. And if you are a Universal Pass holder, you also get early entry to the parks. However, note that the preferred pass is only available on select days. If you are not staying at a Universal Orlando Resort hotel and you do not have a pass, I recommend arriving at the parking garage or City Walk by 8 a.m., which is 1 hour before the park opens to the public. Trust me, it's going to take you some time to wait in the lines at the parking garage and to park your car, and then from there, walk to City Walk just to get to the entrance of each park. It's honestly a lengthy process. This is why it is so important for you to allow yourself plenty of time to battle the traffic getting to Universal Orlando and then the time it takes to park and walk into the parks. Another question that I get asked a lot is, what is there to do at Universal Orlando in the rain? So I created this Universal Orlando Rainy Day Guide, which you can see at the bottom of your screen, where I go over the top 10 things to do at the parks in the rain. Now, please let me know if I missed any important tips in this video. I also want to know, when is your next Universal Orlando vacation? Let me know in the comments, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.